Hello from Washington and welcome to the Hill Sunday. I'm Chris Stirewalt. For 13 years, the United States and our European allies have tried and mostly failed to grapple with a Syrian civil war born of the Arab Spring. Bashar al-Assad's willingness to slaughter his own people to cling to power destabilized the region by creating a vacuum filled by ISIS and other terror groups and sending millions of refugees flooding into Western Europe, upending the politics of the NATO bloc. Joining us now, NewsNation senior national security contributor, General Richard Newton. Good morning, General. What's the current situation in Syria as you understand it?
Well, good morning, Chris. This is a stunning development. As you mentioned, the course of a near 14-year civil war in Syria appears to come to a significant really point of the road here, but also realize the Assad family has actually ruled Syria for 50 years. This is a very significant event for U.S. national security interest in the region, but my sources tell me Assad is fleeing Syria if he hasn't fled already. I'm not sure anybody knows exactly where he's heading. But you now have the rebels who started just a week ago, Chris, a lightning offensive action against Syrian government forces now appear to be taking over Damascus, which will be the final linchpin in terms of taking somewhat modicum control of Syria. This is significant.
So who's arming these rebels? Where do they come from? They're well armed, it seems like, and their organization seems to have improved after what we heard for more than a year was a stalemate. What's behind, who and what is behind them in this?
Well, there are multiple factions inside of Syria right now, but the rebel group is known as HTS. They are a U.S. designated terrorist organization that has gone toe-to-toe with Assad for many years. They're located up in the if you will, the northwest sector of Syria, but they have been lightning quick, have been moving into place, as you've reported, NewsNation's reported last week, moving into Damascus. There are no tears shed for Assad in my best professional judgment here, but the concern is this terrorist organization, much like, think of Taliban in Afghanistan. They are ruthless. They are jihadists. This is not particularly good news, perhaps, for the Syrian people. And so what comes next is a power vacuum in Syria. You're going to have more disorder now, perhaps potentially, not only in Syria, but my main concern right now is spillover to neighboring countries and our key ally, perhaps such as Jordan. So that's where we are right now. The next 24 to 96 hours are going to be key.
So the United States has, from what I understand, 1,000 troops or so in Syria. Most of them have been devoted to denying space to terror groups outside the urban centers of that country. Is there a possibility that role could change and expand given the circumstances you described?
Well, as you mentioned, we have specifically about 900 to 1,000 U.S. Men and women serving in Syria, principally in special operations, and some of our air power capabilities are there. We are there to support the Kurds, our longstanding ally in that part of Syria, first and foremost. And secondly, it's to make sure that we keep contained ISIS. If you recall, under the Trump administration, ISIS was somewhat devastated. And so we've kept a modicum of force there, not only in Syria with combating and supporting the Kurds, but combating ISIS, but also in Iraq as well. So there are U.S. men and women in harm's way, but they're doing U.S. national security work principally to prevent ISIS from reemerging. I don't think that mission is going to change per se. I would not recommend to either the Biden or the incoming Trump administration to get embroiled in Syria. But three concerns. Number one, spillover into neighboring allies such as Jordan. Secondly, Syria plays such a key transit route for Hezbollah, for the Iran-backed terrorist organization, for not only equipment but men and other key resources. But the third part is that you now create another terrorist state. Assad is one thing, but now having a terrorist state such as run by HTS That could be significant for U.S. Our implications or our U.S. national security objectives. On top, Chris, of an already embroiled Mideast region.
It's a tough neighborhood. General, we thank you for guiding us through this. Your help is much appreciated. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.